The vice president was joined by a group of dignitaries that included Governor Greg Abbott, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, and U.S. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. Pence was called upon to fill the role of America's consoler-in-chief in the absence of President Donald Trump, who has been out of the country on a state visit to Asia since before the shooting rampage. Whatever animated the evil that descended on that church last Sunday, if the attackers' desire was to silence their testimony of faith, he failed, Pence said to Cheers. The killer, Devin Kelley, 26, dressed in black and wearing a human skull mask, stormed into the church sanctuary and opened fire on worshippers with a semi-automatic assault rifle. Kelley himself was shot twice by another man, Stephen Williford, who lived nearby and confronted the assailant with his own rifle when the gunman emerged from the church. Kelley managed to flee the scene in a getaway vehicle but shot himself to death and crashed in a ditch as Williford and a passing motorist who was flagged down outside the church, Johnny Langendorf, gave chase in Langendorf's pickup truck. Pence saluted the police, emergency personnel, and doctors who had tended to the wounded, as well as the bravery of those Texas heroes, Williford and Langendorf, who pursued the attacker in a high-speed chase and saved the lives of Americans as a result. Pence said he had met Williford and Langendorf before Wednesday's memorial service. Preceding Pence to the microphone, Governor Abbott also praised Williford, drawing a standing ovation when he declared, "Thank God there was a neighbor who helped save lives on that day." The comments from both politicians were enthusiastically received by the crowd. It was beyond good. People were hungry for what they were saying, Beverly Perez, a retiree from nearby Atkins, Texas. The community is rallying around those who are hurting. We hurt with them. Authorities have said Kelley was more recently embroiled in a domestic dispute involving the parents of his second wife and threatening messages he had sent to his mother-in-law. One of the women killed at the church, Lula Wasinski White, 71, was reported to be the gunman's grandmother-in-law. Reflecting lingering tensions in the aftermath of Sunday's rampage, police were called to a park in Floresville about 2.5 hours before the prayer vigil by an unconfirmed report of a man with a gun. But a search of the park and adjacent cemetery by about 15 officers found no sign of an actual threat.